Thank you so much, my brother and friend, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Sir, are we good? Am I good? Let me take it off to silent. Yes, sir. I know it's... Good afternoon, man. Dr. Stephen Akintayo has set the pace for us to get started. On behalf of the company, apologies for coming a bit behind schedule. It was due to the change of venue. So I was already here waiting because I had a meeting this morning here. So I was still around. Immediately after the meeting, I was coming there. But I didn't know the venue has changed. All right. So nonetheless, we still achieve our goal for today. We'll just be very smart and very sharp about it. How many people enjoyed last week's... Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir. How many people enjoyed last week's physical class? The training at Ikorodu. Okay. So what has the experience given you? What has the experience given you? What's the feedback like? What has it done to you personally? I want to get a feedback from like just 2 people after you return back from that trip.
It's like insight on how you can be able to explain things to clients in a better manner.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned the fact that you want to measure, square meter and everything for a client.
Yes, sir.
Go about that.
Yes, sir.
And also questions that they might ask. You talked about the fact that they might say, why should I come to this client? You can analyze the fact that there's a formula and break this
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it was a great insight.
Awesome. I love that, sir. Any other person want to say something? What happened to you after that class? Okay, sir.
For me, I think
Please, can you move a bit closer? Yes, sir.
Please.
Can we come closer? So it's easier for your voice to be captured via the recording gadgets.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, for me, it's a very fantastic experience.
Yes, sir.
In the sense that it actually boosts my courage
Yes, sir.
when speaking to clients.
Yes, sir.
It gives me a sense of what I'm really talking about.
Awesome.
And it also gives me a convincing tone
Yes, sir.
when speaking to clients.
Yes,
So
sir.
I think that's the best.
Awesome. I like that, sir. Let's have a gender balance class. So let's take from one lady. From one lady who was there last week.
I was there.
Oh, you were there. I were there. Okay, let's take from you.
So for me, it's boost. There's a boost in my confidence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
I can confidently say when probably they're trying to say 600 square meters, they can have. I say to them, just 300 square meters. This is what you can do. And also, I've been pushing more on Continental Bridge.
Okay.
For those who can't afford island,
Okay.
this will be their best bet. So
Okay.
they're still making the right decision.
Okay. Awesome. Well done. I want to sincerely appreciate every one of you for making out time. And even for those who could not make out time, you can go check the video out online. You'll see it on the company's page. And it will be a great blessing to you. The topic of that class was how to handle physical site inspections. Please let our phones be on silent or vibration. So it's easier for us not to be distracted. Okay, so having said that, so how many people agree here that Mr. Dominic is doing a great job? Oh, great. Oh yeah, Mr. Dominic. I mean, sincerely, it's not really easy to coordinate people. Sincerely, it's not easy. I give it to him. It's not easy. He's doing a great job. But the job he's doing today may not show today, but it will show in the nearest future. So it's much appreciated. And even the MD who is talking is also saying he appreciates him and he wants him to be better. So that's the bottom line. So now let's see, now that we know how to handle physical site inspection, there are still some mistakes we do, even though we know what to say when we're in the office, we know what to say when we're taking them to site, but also there are some little mistakes that we make when we are talking to prospects. So that's what led to today's topic, that 10 common mistakes that salesmen still make. You may not consider it to be a mistake. You may not really know that it's a mistake. But they seem little, they seem insignificant, but they are the mistakes we still make that makes people not to give you their check. So that's one. So somebody will come and trouble, hey, Mr. Ni, I want you to help me talk to somebody. I want you to help me do this. Meanwhile, it is you they know. It is you they want to give their money to. But there's still something you are doing that's not making them feel comfortable. So those are some of the things we want to look at today. In case you pick your own, you need to actually begin to work on yourself and work on that particular area so that you can be better off and so that you could know. Some of them, maybe at one time or the other, in one of the classes or the other, I could say maybe we've treated it, but I can tell you professionally, we are going to hammer it today for us to know what are the common mistakes that we make as salesmen. Number one. Okay, so today is your first time in the class. Can I see your hand? Okay, okay, you're welcome to the GCB family, where everybody is somebody. Amen. So can we meet you 1 minute? Your name and what you do apart from consultancy. So what else do you do? Your name and the rest.
My name is Chidima Naman, and I'm into real estate. That's full time. I don't do any of that thing for now.
Okay.
I actually resigned my paid job to come into real estate, and that's what I do full time.
Wow. Have you made the first sale since you joined real estate?
Yes, but I just joined Gtext.
Okay. So, but I mean, just coming from where you're coming from, you made the first sale. Awesome, awesome. So you've collected the commission. I mentioned commission, you laugh. I mean, it's very important, man. Awesome. So, Madam Chidima, you're welcome. The second person who is new here.
My name is Charles.
Mr. Charles. Okay. So, what do you do aside being a consultant?
I actually work with the
Okay. Okay.
Presently, I'm not doing anything because of the NI race.
Okay.
So I'm back in Lagos, that's why I'm here.
Okay, you're welcome, sir. Welcome to Gtext family. Okay, any new person again? Okay, sir. Your name? Sir? Okay, Mr. Temitope. Okay, you look like Igbo though. Okay, and what else do you do aside being a consultant? Okay, you're an architect. Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, yes, sir. You're welcome, sir. Last week was your first time, and that was when we carried you to site. Okay. Okay.
So my name is Ezekiel Abiodun.
Yes, sir.
I'm a travel consultant.
Awesome. Awesome. So the people who are going to Dubai next, you are the one that will carry them. Mr. Nomni, please take note. All right. So, we're in the new month, and let me use the opportunity to say happy new month to each one of us. And for you to know that it's important that as God has given us the grace to see a new month, there's a need for us to refresh our targets for the month. What are the things you're looking at for the month of March? Please take note that many resolutions we made coming into the new year, that I want to do this, I want to do that. There's a need for us to go back to those sheets where we wrote them and begin to look at it again. When I say sheet, I mean SHEET, not the other sheets in America. So go back to those paper. Okay, if I'm going to use paper, yeah. So and go and check it because why? We are already rounding up or winding up the first quarter of the year. So and it's important for you to be able to assess and appraise yourself and say, you know what? This is what I've been able to attain and achieve by the help of God this first quarter. So in case you don't have anybody who can pull you on your clothes and say, what have you achieved this quarter? Please get an accountability partner. Could be your friends, could be your acquaintance, could be your sister, your brother. It could be a mentor, but you need an accountability partner. But in case you are a one-man mopo, because we have some people, they are one-man mopo, they don't they don't have any recourse to report to anybody. The way they are wired. But the truth is, you can adjust actually. If you know you are not making progress, until there is somebody who can look at you in the face and say you got it wrong, then you are not poised or you are not set to make progress. So you can get a diary and write down the things you must achieve and make sure that if you have not achieved 70% of it, you don't go home. That's another way of being accountable. So, but by all means, make sure the end of this first quarter does not go until you have achieved your set targets. I pray God helps us in Jesus' name. So let's quickly look at some of the mistakes, common mistakes we make as salesmen. Number one, too much concern with strategy instead of tactics. We have too much concern with strategies instead of tactics. Now, most salespeople often ask, how do I accomplish this in that account? How do I get this account to this? Now, these questions are almost always related to strategic issues. Almost always. The answer to the question is not a more clever strategy, but better execution of the basic tactics. Many people carry very great books around. They read the book, but it is only when you are able to apply what you have read into your daily life that it becomes a basic tactics. You can have big strategies. You can have wonderful ideas. But how much of it have you actually turned into a reality that you have executed? That is what I call tactics. Oh, you want to go to Aswani? Okay, for instance, people were launched at the same time to be consultants in a particular organization. And one of them met me and said, oh, I was in your class and you taught us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to struggle with other products in some other axes. I'm just going to focus on a particular product that is closer to my house where I live. And he told me why. He said, because there is a huge market, maybe one or twice in a week market that is very massive. He said his target is to go and meet the Yalojas in that place. They have one Yaloja, but they will have all the people in the market when they come for that once in a week market, talk to them on how they can convert those ajo they are doing into their installment payment on a monthly basis. And the last time they were to go for an inspection, he sent the list of people he was taking for inspection. Massive number. That is, he's been able to convert strategy into a tactics. Visibly using what you have strategized about. Visibly. It's not enough to write notes. What are you doing with those notes? It's not enough to read books written by Grant Cardone. But how much are you able to apply those things into the present day reality in your country, in your neighborhood, in Lagos State, where you stay? Okay, you are going to Okota to go and tell people about a product in Ibejuleki. How much time have you made to go and meet people who walk around Lekki-Epe Expressway about the Ibejuleki property you're talking about? Do you know that it's very easy for you to talk to someone who lives as a tenant on Lekki-Epe Expressway to come and buy your Ibejuleki property than to go and meet somebody who lives in Okota to come and buy Ibejuleki property? He will tell you it's far. That is turning strategy into tactics. It's important. So you are selling a property in Ikorodu. Where are you taking it to? You are taking it to the island to come and buy in Ikorodu. No, it's failed from the beginning. There are many factories on Ikorodu Road. Have you made out time to go and talk to them about that property? So strategies are good, but it can fail at the point of leaving it without executing it. When you get it executed, then that's a good tactics. Number 2, mistakes we make. Number two, lack of thoughtfulness. Lack of thoughtfulness. It's important for us to know that, there are some basic things that we get to get wrong. Now, let me say this. That customers these days, okay, customers these days are demanding salespeople who are thoughtful, prepared, who have well thought out agendas, and who have done their research before the sales call. That is to say, I just have to bring out just one point out of it. That it's important that when you are going for that sales pitch, you have all the things in mind, your bullet points, bring them out. You are going for a sales meeting with someone. Where is your agenda? Don't just stumble on someone and start wasting their time. It's important for you to have an agenda. Now, what are the things I'm here to discuss with you? Number one. Now, please take note that what is simply applicable to someone who is handling a site inspection where you were being taught to tell a story in an agenda for a sales, for pitching, when you want to sell, you are still permitted to tell a story, however short it is. And I've told us at one time or the other how God enabled me to be able to tell a story to a group of people in an hospital when I was to present to them. And I told you of the story that I saw from the Bible, the book of life, that is talking about the story of Jacob and Esau. What happened to them? You saw how Esau sold his birthright to Jacob on the platter of a plate of what? Well, is it actually porridge? Bible said porridge. If you look at different translation, you see another translation to the porridge. Asaro, there are different translations to it actually. But I actually thought of it that porridge bikini esha. That made somebody to say that I won't say I don't be first born again. Just give me this plate of. It was hungry.
Not because it's special food.
Maybe that porridge was the best food during those days. His favorite. Okay. But that was there. She said that's his favorite food. That's why he said, "Oh, but take firstborn. Just give me this my best food." Praise God. But now the point is this: from that story, even though it may not make a lot of sense to us, but biblically speaking, just pitching, telling a story about two brothers. One was preparing the future, and the other wanted to eat the present. Because take note, that porridge is actually sweeter, not the first day you cook it. It's sweeter the following day. It sticks. Yes, sir. So the guy was preparing tomorrow. The other brother was thinking now. So in that meeting, I made them realize that there is a need for you to know that there are many of you who have eaten your tomorrow today. Those money you used to serve them round after work is actually enough for an installment plan. It's a story. Short one, but some people may not like it. Yes, sir. You see some people, they have apologies to those with pot belly, moderate, big size, medium, small, apologies.
It's Pastor Belly.
Sir?
Pastor Belly.
Pastor Belly. Pastor Belly. Come and see some of my pastor. I'm about to join you. Yeah. When one of our pastors was posted to the headquarters, and I was there when God's servant was saying that, did you join our 21 days prayer and fasting? Immediately the pastor understood, because he said it was big. So in that same manner, even though it sounded humorous, but some people are eating stone buildings and they can account for what they've worked for many years. It's a story, but you have to say it in a very subtle way. So what am I saying? You have to be thoughtful. When you put up your agenda, tell a short story. Yours may not be Jacob and Esau. It could be another story of your father, a mistake that was done. It could be the story of your uncle. It could be a story of your, Then from there, try to now begin to get friendlier with that person you're talking to. Don't ask for the check straight. That's part of the mistakes. Number 3, let's quickly look at number 3. Number 3, superficial contentment. The ultimate sales skill is the ability to know the customer deeper and in a more detailed way than your competitors do. That's what I was just saying. Superficial contentment. Superficial contentment. Most salespeople have a wonderful opportunity to learn about their customers in deeper and more detailed ways, but often squander it by having the same conversation with the same customer over and over. They never dig deeper. So they mistake familiarity with knowledge. There's a need for you to understand and know the person you are talking to. When I'm talking in this context, it has nothing to do with their background or what they have in their account. No. Getting to know them deeper has to do with what is their need, Gongo. Is it a 2-bedroom, 5-bedroom duplex, or they need something within an estate or outside an estate? Do you know that in this age and time, there are still some corporate people who still prefer to go and buy land from Monile directly? I've met a number of them, and they'll tell you why they are doing it. No, there is a man that my team took to site today from the office, and he has always loved to buy his land directly from Monile. So it was his wife who bought from us, and he came to check on behalf of the wife. So, and it's the first time that probably is buying. The wife is now opening his eyes to an estate arrangement. So I was in a meeting here when he sent me a message that we need to see. I think we need to buy more. The feeling is different. An estate. So he has imagined it the moment he got to site, that I think this arrangement will be better than this other arrangement he has been doing. He's always, in fact, one of the reasons why each time he's in Nigeria, that I don't really, when he says in Nigeria, I don't get excited to go and see him. It's because it's just to go and greet him. No business. So kill and kill her. And what are friends for if not to inconvenience one another? So your own inconvenience is not paying me. You don't get it. But the wife now eventually bought. So he's now come to Nigeria to come and check for the wife. And he got there. From there, I think he sent me the message that I think we need to talk more. We need to buy more. That's a good one. So now I can carry myself to go to his hotel and see him. You don't get what I'm saying? Yes, sir? You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. You got it. So what am I saying in essence? There's a need for you to understand their need. I saw in him, he has no need for what I was doing. So what happened? I shifted. Stop wasting your time. Everybody cannot be your customer. Take it or drop it. Everybody cannot be your customer. So, but the moment you're able to identify someone as a potential buyer of your product, you must understand what they need. How many rooms do they? Okay, trying to dig deeper. How many members do they have in their family? Please, can you help us break them? How many members do they have in their families in terms of? There was a time I went to see someone in their house, and I saw that they have about 10-bedroom duplex. Why? Because they have close to 10 children. One wife. About 10 children. So now for you to say you want to sell a 3-bedroom flat for them, you see that you are joking. So there's a need for you to dig deeper. So what that is telling us is this: it is not the first day you actually see someone that you should be talking about must buy now. It's important for you to understand that you need to understand them well first. It doesn't take 3 months. It doesn't take 1 month. It doesn't take 1 week for you to understand someone. I met someone someday and we had a conversation of a few minutes, not up to 1 hour, because there is no time for that. Within that few minutes, this person said, "You are sounding as if I've known you for years because I've told you literally everything about my life." I don't know if you found yourself in that situation. So you must try to develop that skill of being able to get words out of people's mouth when you meet them. Okay? That way you can understand what the needs are. That way you can understand what to pitch to them and not just to generalize that this is what it. So for someone who has a large family, you shouldn't be talking about one plot if they are buying land from you. Could have as well be talking about 2-3 plots and talking of how to spread the payment and how to get it done. So that way they know that you are actually selling what they need and they can get a clearer picture of what you are saying by the time they understand what you are saying. That this is what I need. They will see that this is what I need actually. Oh, 2 plots, 1,000 square meter. If it's 500 square meter per plot, then having a small garden where the family can relax in the evening, imagine planting like 2, 3, 4 trees in the compound, having a small what do you call it now, gym in one side, and having an opportunity where people can take a stroll or jog in the premises and all that. By the time you paint 1, 2, 3 pictures, they say, hey, actually it's not going to be bad. So how do you sell? That's the next question, because you already know what he or she needs. And you've been able to, we treated at a time how you can actually, people buy for different emotional reasons. So you could fall into a particular reason why they are thinking of buying from you if you're able to hit it on the head. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4, common mistakes we do. Poor questioning. Poor questioning. Poor questioning. I want you to know that poor questioning can mean salespeople never really uncovering the deeper, more intense issues that motivate their customers. Instead, they continually react to the common complaint of customers who have been given no reason to think of otherwise. All of these are as a result of the inability of the salesperson to use the most powerful tool with skill and sensitivity. There is a need for you to ask questions. It's a bit related to the one we talked about, which is trying to get to know what the needs are when you question them. But see, this is not the way to question. So, ọmọ mélòó lẹ bí? You don't get it. That's how they will ask you. How many children do you have? As if you are census official. Ibo lẹ bí wọn sí? Ìyàwó mélòó lẹ ní sà? So, and you will now see him put Google here. I will be writing. Ọmọ mélòó lẹ bí? You say, ọ̀gá wa, ṣé wàá tajà dàbí ọ̀rẹ́ sí mi? Are you here to sell or they sent you to me? So there's a very wonderful way of asking people questions that will make them feel comfortable. Especially considering the fact that there are lots of security issues today. So you have to be very sensitive. But there's a way I become your friend that you don't find it very difficult to tell the number of children you have. Even within a short space of minutes that we discuss. I could open a conversation about my children. One thing they've said humorously. And that thing will lead to another thing. Before you know it, you are telling me about what one of your children have actually said that made you think that, that you now be hearing something like, even that was how the younger brother said. That was how the elder sister said. So that way I already know that that means you have mentioned one under, you have mentioned one on top. That's 3. So, and we're now talking about the fact that, we're even thinking of maybe doing one more. But the challenge I have is that, carrying these children when we are going for holiday, it's not easy to run after 4 children. So you have 4. No, we are thinking of doing one more. We already have 3. So say, hey, which we have 2. That means we still have 2 more to go. I already know that it's going to 4. So I can pitch to you 5 bedroom, or 4 bedroom, or 3 bedroom. So, but it's a skill actually. There's a place of grace and there's a place of acquiring the skill. I can't meet you as a salesperson and you won't, sincerely, people don't want to go home when we are finished talking. They'll be like, how can we continue this conversation? Yes, I'll buy, don't worry, I'll buy, but something is interesting. Why are you thinking of 4 children actually? I've gotten what I want to get actually, and I've used it. But yes. But the next thing will now be why we now began to talk about family. So, and no matter what, if you are a man and a woman of value, immense value. Now that's why it's important for you not just to be thinking of how to get money from people alone. Don't think of that alone. Always think of how to give them value. It is value for value. Most times people buy not because of your face, but because of what is coming out of your mouth to them on our content. Sincerely, when you meet a man and you spend 2 minutes with him, something good, you must have that feeling that I'm going on with something. It could be a lady, it could be a man, but make that person, that individual that they are willing to spend time with. By His grace, I was with someone yesterday evening before I came for my last appointment, and the guy is a gospel artist, and is an unassuming gospel artist. Somebody you can't assume, but I mean, he looks flamboyant, he looks like bling bling. You hardly want to say that he's a gospel artist, but he doesn't stay in Nigeria. So he just called me that, sir, I'm in Nigeria. I remember I promised you the other day that we spoke that anytime I'm in Nigeria, I'm going to see you. So I just wanted to know I'm in Nigeria. And before I knew it, he mentioned where he was, and he happened to be off my office streets. And I said, my office is just off where you are. He said, man of God, we just bought an hotel in Okwebi. So I just bought an hotel in Okwebi, and that's where I am. That's what brought me to Nigeria. I said, what? That's big. So I went to meet him. And I mean, you need to be at that conversation. It was another level. Like, young guy, still single. I mean, he owns the hotel. That is his name that is on the hotel. You know, Pepe? Yes. You know, so you know, when there's a need for us to have a mind shift. Because when you are face to face with such people, it's not the regular conversation. It's not at the level where you think he is. What he's thinking is bigger than what you are talking. And if you are not at that level, they don't want to see you again. I mean, in the first place, by grace, the first reason why he called me was because of where we ended our discussion last year when we spoke. That I promise you, when I'm in Nigeria, you are somebody I need to see. All the glory to God. No, but of course, you know, you can be born again and still be empty. You don't get it. Now, there's a place where my father in the faith, Bishop Oyedepo, when he's talking, he's not quoting Bible, but you are getting value. When you talk of management, you see him, he's talking management. You talk of business, he's talking business. You talk of entrepreneur, I mean, being an entrepreneur, he's talking as an entrepreneur. He's talking vast, ICT. He's vast. He knows literally about everything. And now he's not quoting the Bible. So you can't be talking in a secular environment and you walk out. Why? Because there's something to take, even though you are not a Christian. So there's a need for us to be challenged, to begin to look at how to get people to talk to us if you have something interesting to say. You shouldn't be boring as a salesperson. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You should not be boring as a salesperson. You enter a place not to be loud, but there must be something about you. You kickstart a conversation. Somebody will ask me, what kind of conversation should I kickstart? You should find out what your audience want to hear. Consciously, it's a conscious effort actually. Now, by the grace of God, by my privileged position in the church, I mean, I know that there are a lot of burden issues concerning the youth today. Now, and I know that each time we gather together like that, you must say something that is appealing to them. Please put your phone in vibration or silent. Please, your phone in vibration or silent. It's only a Chinko phone that I know always you switch off, it doesn't off. Even if you switch it off and they call you, I was in the Bible school some times ago, and the lecturer told all of us that we should switch off our phones. And this guy actually switched off his phone. but because he's they called him only that day ó get tough rẹ̀. He was showing us ọ̀gá mo pa pastor I switch it off tẹ́ bá ti pè mí ó máa kó máa tough rẹ̀. Even the pastor could not do anything. He just busted into laughter pé ọmọ first day ṣì ń kó ní fóònù ẹ̀yìn. That was on the lighter note. But it's important for us to know that you must work on yourself, your content. So because of the fact that I have the privilege of talking to a number of youth, what I do is when I hear interesting topics, I write them down. I have a book where I have topics that borders on youth and discussions. I can't count the numbers that I wrote, different topics. So if I am boxed with you, I know that there is no dull moment. There is something to talk about. Because there are over 1 million topics that borders our society today. Whether you are youth, you are teenager, you are an adult, whatever category you find yourself, there is something to talk about. Now, it is those conversations that you drive that leads or graduates into a sales conversation. Not just, madam, mo rí yín lénìí, mo ti ń wáyé látijọ́ yìí, I've been looking for you, and she's saying that, okay, kí la fẹ́? Sorry, I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm using it to mic. Okay. When I use it, the video is clearer. So it's the microphone I'm using. Because somebody might be looking at my ear and be saying, I don't know what you're born. Oh no. You don't think so? They will say it. But when a man low hearing it, you have to watch the class. Don't you? It's Bluetooth. So he picks my voice and send it to the phone. So let's move on. So there's a need for you to question, but of course we have told us there's a skill to acquire to be able to question appropriately so that people won't feel offended. I will say live, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number 5. No investment in themselves. I've mentioned this. I just told you about it. It's a mistake that we make as salespeople if you don't invest in yourself. Let me read it out to you. It says, no more than 5% of active full-time professional salespeople ever invest in their own growth. No, not more, or no more than 5% of active, not more than 5%, meaning 95% have not invested in themselves. Okay? And now that means that only 1 of 20 salespeople have ever spent $20 of their own money on a book on sales, or even subscribe to a sales magazine, or taking a sales course, or attending a sales seminar of their own choosing and on their own nickel. Now, what that means is this: if you don't spend dollar on yourself, you are not permitted to charge dollar. I repeat again. If you don't spend dollar on yourself, you are not permitted to charge in dollars. So meaning that if you are still at the level of Naira, devaluation, you can still be talking devaluation. But the moment you switch to that level where you can, because sincerely, irrespective of the color of your skin, people are just looking for value. As salespeople, you can't buy a book of 1,000. Even the one I subsidize and sell 1,000, you can't buy.
No.
You don't get it.
I don't get what you're saying.
Okay, I have a book, a real estate book for 1,000 naira.
Just 1,000.
1,000. Some people will not buy it.
Hey, look better now.
Okay, you are saying you don't know about the book before, Abi?
No. What I heard you say.
Okay.
If people don't buy a book for 1,000 naira.
Okay, no.
The way you said it now is a little bit clearer.
Okay, it's clearer. Okay.
People buy a book at 1,000 naira.
Okay. Maybe I should say that as cheap as 1,000 naira, some people will not want to even spend it to buy. They rather want to go and borrow a book. Sincerely. And there's a need for you as a sales professional for you to build a library. And you have books from great real estate authors. That's where you learn. Sincerely, that book is a compilation of, as small as it is, it's a compilation of many authors. That when you stumble on other authors, some things you read there, I've summarized it inside that book, as small as the book is. So it means that if you can do more and go and research about more authors, invest in yourself. Somebody will have the means of probably being mentored by a great salesperson, but they'll say, came for mentoring. When you see some people ask some question, you be like, why are you ready? Like you are not ready. Sincerely, there's a need for you to. Okay, I was with Dr. Stephen this morning, and he made mention of something. What was that thing? This is just one phrase. He said, "If you can't pay your way through, then serve your way through." If you can't pay your way through, serve your way through. So if you know that you can't afford this money, have you volunteered to serve the person you want to take something from? I listened to one great man that some of you may know, Joshua Selman, and I heard him saying that there's a grace needed in the life of a particular couple who are based in the US, and he knew that it was not easy for him to get that grace anyhow. So he was able to get their contact when he was in the US, called them, was able to reach out to them, and told them he would like to see them. So he got an appointment, went to see them, and you know what he did? He said, "Sir, I'm led to come and wash your bathroom for 1 week." That is to be a maid in their house for 1 week. To be washing the bathroom for 1 week. And he did it. And he caught that grace. You know why? You know, where they are bathing and where there are some things that drop off the physical body, that's where he goes to wash, and he's speaking to God in that closet. Every water, in fact, he didn't tell us to what extent he did go inside that bathroom. Maybe he has even leaked some water there. For price for greatness. See the way the man is phonating today. You can't listen to him for 5 minutes and your life won't turn.
Yes.
Sincerely, he's in a world of his own. You don't get it. He has paid. He has served his way. Some pastors have not reached his level. They can't carry pastor for a bag for another pastor. They can't carry bag. Instead, they'll carry their shoulder instead of carrying back for somebody. Sincerely. So you either serve your way through or you pay your way through. You must pick one, sincerely. Because what you're actually looking for, somebody has dropped it. Sincerely. There's nothing new under heaven. The word of God says so. There's nothing new. What you are looking for, somebody has passed through the place, has finished it, has dropped it. I saw something on Dr. Laide Okubena's page just a few minutes before I was invited in. And I saw somebody's garage where they parked some of those vintage cars, as in with dust on it. And he was telling the story of that man. He said this man that owns this car, they said in the 70s, they were begging him to come and buy properties. He refused to buy. He was buying latest cars. Those cars are there now. Dust on it. Now, if they bring out those cars,
Nobody will buy them.
no, it's not even now to buy. But when your father drives you to your school that came to visit you, so is that your daddy? It's my uncle. But in that case, if he calls my daughter, if he ever sees you, say, "My daughter, why would you send me?" We did some nasty things when we were very much younger. We did denying our parents. especially when you are not from a rich family. And if God wants to help you, they are illiterate, and they came to visit you in school. But you don't understand. When another person went like this, and you are checking, so you forgotten that your own shoe is outside. Yeah, so some of us are now at that level now, where our children wants to disassociate from us because they feel maybe you are not successful to the point. Sincerely, it's a seed. Every deed is a seed. Sincerely. So I mean, thank God I understood it on time, because I saw one particular lady. I was asking her out many years ago before I got married, and I always see her like a sophisticated lady, almost a tap girl. Oh, fine girl. Oh, she's fair. So I always see her. She sneaks into that compound. Actually, you won't know that that's where they live. I said, we don't go near. Like tenement house. Face where I slap you. No, okay, there's no big deal there, because that's where I grew up in also. But the difference between my own and our own is my father was the owner of our own, and we were living separately on the upstairs, and we had tenant downstairs, and we had compound where there are other tenants and all of that. But so we grew up not mixing with other people. We had at least some sense of privacy, even though it was in a little, but at least our own was another class. But our own is general. So but I didn't know that my mother used to engage her father to come and do roofing job. So carpenter and barber. But she always treated the man like grandpa. You don't get it. Only like barber. So, and that's the baba sending you to school. So, like she was exposed. I said, BC, you worry. Like, this is you. You said that man is your grandpa or your father. Now that you know, where do we shout? I will calm down. This man is suffering for you. I saw one picture online where I said, no, this is out of the world. Come and see this farmer man, very dark, as it is illiterate, sent his daughter to school. On the day of the convocation, the daughter was proud to introduce her father to people, that this is the Baba who sent me to school. This is my father. You either like him or you die. Very emotional caption. Like, she wrote so much stuff about the man. Was proud of him. And some of the would tell, some ladies would tell the daddy that today is their convocation. Yes. In case you are here, God is talking to you. Go and change. Go and change. So flaunt my mother, flaunt her anyhow. She left school at 8 when she was in primary 6. She left school because of her siblings, so those ones can go to school. And if you see my mother, like, her handwriting is like the handwriting of Queen of England. She writes well. She speaks good English. You know, there are school standard men. Good standard. They had good schools there. Yes, sir. Primary 6 then. It's like university standard now. So she stopped for the younger ones to go to school. So you don't know her story. You just be like, this woman. But by the grace of God, God made up for her with great children. Sorry, sir. God made up for her with great children. So it will not be children versus grandma, that they will say, grandma. No, that's not how to say it. They say, but die in school. I sent your father to school. Anybody will laugh over it. And you will now be glad to now keep such woman who labored on you. That my father died 31 years ago, minus my age from 31. fourth wife, she suffered, and now go and keep her somewhere and not allow somebody to see her a year. You don't get it. There's a cost attached to it. Sir, let's go to our so invest in yourself, please. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Buy books, buy tapes. Even if you are not to buy, there are some free ones you can get online. You can download a lot online. Now there is okay, I won't tell you this one later. No, I won't tell you now. So you just see that another dimension that I'm operating in. I just discovered another. You are doing well. So, but you can do research to learn. There are some great authors out there. There are some people don't like reading, but you may like listening. So you can download audiobooks. You get iPods and try to, yes. Or go to YouTube, yes sir. Some people are saving data as if they are saving life. You must invest though. Sincerely. You must invest. This man is not here now, the MD of Gtext. If there's anything I saw him doing that made me know that this guy is going somewhere, was when I saw him reading. See, readers are leaders. When, excuse me, sir? No, everywhere. Sir, don't make that mistake. I'll tell you why. You should ask me why I said so. No. Leaders are leaders. Let me tell you. Sir, yes, I understand. But, please, sir, don't, yes, I understand. So just go and look at our first or second point when I was talking about the place of turning strategy into a tactics. We have many leaders who are foolish. They just read it the way they read it. It's the way they will. You understand? But when you read a little, sir, and you now think about, that's the place of meditation. You now meditate and think of how to apply what you have read to your daily life. How can I do this thing? Sir, should I shock you? Sometimes I read one page for 3 weeks. Because there's a code inside of it to crack. Inside that page. I'll now fold it. I'll now open it again. I'll now read it again. There is something inside this thing that is missing. Okay, go and read the book called Creative Edge. Written by Pastor Matthew Ashimolo. That was talking about creative edge. The creative edge. That talks about the entire budget of Africa. That compared to the budget of Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and I think about 3 companies.
Amazon, Microsoft, and
there is about 4 companies. There is 4. I think Apple. Yes, Apple making 4. So those companies, their budgets put together, is what they make as income. Yes. No, I want to say the part where he said that the entire budget of Africa, is what these companies make in a quarter. Yes. The entire budget of Africa. About 4 companies in a quarter, 3 months. So that means Africa is doing poorly. So now, when I read that part, I will now go back again. That you try, man. One of them was Africa. Like you are still, this is something that will challenge you. So that's why I said I can read a page for like 3 weeks. I'm going back and saying that how no one the company Gogono. What are they doing? How can I incorporate this thing into my business? I'm just thinking, how can we take this business from where it is to another level? Thank God for prayer, thank God for fasting. He'll give you ideas, but if you don't execute it, it's a waste of time. So that's why it's important for us to invest well in ourselves. So that book, I ordered for it because you can't see it on the shelf. I ordered for it. It took time before it came. It's a small book. You get it on Amazon. It's true. You get it on Amazon. The creative edge is very challenging. You know, and now what that does to you is, when you invest in yourself, is what that does to you is it disrupts your mind. It causes a disruption. Like there's a shift. That try that. Well, you are not doing well, sir.
I didn't believe it initially.
No, it's verifiable. You see it online.
I know. I told you about the statements.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. It's verifiable. You know, at that level, before he will come out to release that fact, you know, you can get it online. Yes. Gbogbo Africa, sir. Gbogbo Africa. So you see that we are not doing well. Thank God for God's grace. He's making us do well. Creative, the creative edge. The creative edge, yes. The creative edge. How you can be creative. How you can create something out of a problem. You can create a solution that will turn things around. Okay, somebody, during the lockdown, for instance, people were saying lockdown, but somebody sat down and said, okay, is people, when we go to church, we always go to church with offering in our envelope. And he's now thinking, how do people contribute offering during lockdown? Because they are doing service online. So they came up with an app. And they said people can use this app to transfer money into the church account. You just need to fund the wallet and do a transfer. And it was embraced. And people started paying offering through it. That app today, because it happened during lockdown, that people were complaining. Somebody was creating an app. People were saying problem. Somebody was saying a solution. That there is a need. People need something. In some of the trainings I had during lockdown, I kept emphasizing on something. What's that thing? Is this. It's just simply, any essential commodity that could not be locked down is something to pay attention to. It means that if there is second and third wave of lockdown, those things will still be thriving. Food, logistics, poultry products, hand sanitizer, nose mask. Because it's the new norm. You can't help it. It has come to stay. One of it is real estate. Because, okay, they said the lockdown. Should be that it takes a door to lock something down. Okay, where is the door? Is it going under a roof? Under a house? So if you don't have a house, you are doing bad. You need to be in somebody's house to be locked down inside the house. And if you don't have a house, there's nowhere to lock you. Lock you under the bridge. Yes. So what that means is this: while landlords are growing, tenants will be growing. You don't get it. You'll be complaining, but your landlord is smiling to the bank. Online. Yes. Taking their, yes, ma'am. They're taking their rent. They don't send you. Whether you say, Baba, she said, hey, Baba, she said, they've locked down. Oh, my pension me. Here's my retirement benefits. I said, oh, everyone
They are even increasing.
yes, ma'am. Even though despite the lockdown. Okay, if the government that we should help us, if they increase fuel money after lockdown, they increase the tariff, NEPA tariff after lockdown. They increase almost everything because the resultant effect is it affected food prices. Everything shot up. Transportation, stamp duty, everything went up. So now, who is landlord that will not increase the rent? Hey, now, so and if you say you want to increase the rent and you are fighting him,
People were buying houses.
sir,
People were buying houses.
sir, the truth is that, see, no matter the extent of the lockdown and how bad things will be, real estate will always be thriving. Ask me how. When I came out of the lockdown, my tithe was over $1 million inside the house. I was paying my tithe on every income I was receiving inside the house. So I said this during the lockdown, by the grace of God. I said, if I ask many of you seated here that when do you plan to retire, A lot of people will tell me 60. Some will say 50. Some people even wish they retire at age 40 or 45. But see, if the lockdown truly locked you down for those 3 or 4 months, then your retirement is not sure. Abba, you may not like my face. Go and think about it. If the retirement and they just lock you down for 3 or 4 months, on kigbekiri, on torowokiri, on send DM, on slide into people's DM. My retirement is sure. That's the truth. So we need to begin to creatively think, what do I do that will make me to be affected by the lockdown? One of it is real estate. Sincerely. I was still making some personal sales of some of my, by His grace, some of my mini estates, private estates. I was still selling to people in the diaspora during the lockdown. They were still buying. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me just say. Some people will say palliative, and they were looking for where to put the palliative. And many of them were thinking real estate alone, because that time you can't think of opening a grocery store. You can't think of doing telecommunication business. Okay, some people were doing telecommunication business then because people were buying data and calls. They were making calls. But of course, the people who actually make the profit in that are the telecommunication giants. They bought virtually everything. Virtually GT is doing everything. So if you say, they say go and sell VTU and you make something on it, nothing. Nothing. But real estate is sure. You just buy, work, earn commission, reinvest by buying property that you can resell to some of your friends and families. That's how you make your money. That's why we're here. This GCP class is not just to come here and listen to lecture or motivational talk and collect refreshment and be going home. Baba, no. Your head must wake up, sincerely. And you must think of creative ways to make sales. Get your commission that is due to you. Reinvest back into real estate. Because if another lockdown happens, some people will rapture, sincerely. When I'm going out, I should be taking you out. Why? When they are going out, once they are say, you kill a white soy. Number six. Not honoring commitments. Our time is fast spent. Not honoring commitments. That's number 6 mistake we make. We don't honor commitments. E.g., all business relationships revolve around trust. And when you don't keep your commitments, you damage the customer's trust in you and the company. Now, salespeople are highly at risk for making so forgotten promises during sales presentation. Please be careful of commitments you make during presentations. Don't go and say what you can't do. Somebody is saying that, okay, you want me to buy this thing, but is this money I'm paying, is it inclusive of survey and legal fee? You say total package. Now, when it's time for the person to collect allocation, you say they should pay survey and legal fee. You say, but you told me that it should be part of the something. I say, when did I say so? It's not me. So you must be careful at the point of collecting checks so that you don't make commitments you can't meet up with. Or, for instance, maybe the land does not have a CFO yet. You now committed yourself. You say it has CFO. They now say, send me a copy of the CFO. You now switch off. Oh yeah, I'm waiting. I want to make commitments. Now I want to make initial deposit. Send me a copy. Let my lawyer go and verify. Now, there's an opportunity for you to go back to them and tell them that actually I made a mistake. The CFO is under processing. Just give them the file number. Let them go and verify. Please be careful when it comes to making commitments. So you don't say the things you cannot deliver. Let's go to number 7. Putting the sales first. Putting the sales first. I've mentioned this in the course of our conversation, that please always be interested in relationship more than in collecting money first. Every salesperson wants to make the sale, but if the customer suspects that you are putting the sale before the customer's interest, the relationship will suffer. So put them first. So I should be thinking you first. I should be thinking, I think I've shared something with us where I told someone that, see, I need to know what comes in for you and what you spend out of it. So I will know what is the balance. You don't know, you are more than a banker to them. As a real estate advisor, real estate is something that when God helps you to be able to get someone to buy into it, they don't forget you easily. Sincerely, they don't forget you easily. A banker, they can forget a banker because they are not doing them any favor. They are just keeping money for them. That you advise me to keep money in the bank, and so what? If you don't advise me, somebody else will advise me. You don't even need to advise me before I know how to save. You don't get it. But real estate, you advise me of how to be able to work things out, to cough out a certain amount, even though it may be tough. But you are telling me I can do it. It's possible. It's doable. To build is not tough. Okay, let me tell you. Somebody who is struggling to buy land, and already you are painting a picture of what it costs to actually build. Part of the story I was telling you that you must have different stories, and you know which one to pitch. And I was talking about someone who, in another place, I was talking about someone who is a friend of mine, who used to be a friend of mine, he's no longer in Nigeria. And we're together in the car, and we were saying, Pastor Nee, do you know that there's a bag I saw that I want to buy now? You will love that bag. I said, tell me more. He said, that bag, if I bring it to the office, from the office, I can travel abroad because the bag is good for corporate use and also for traveling use. I said, hey, tell me more. He said, what you talk? I said, you can take it to the office and also take it to travel. Okay. So I said, so how much is the bag? He said, just 150,000. That was 2015. Just 150,000. I said, so to come in the morning to the office and you will not sleep in the office. You go home, you now drop the bag. Abuma suseno bag here. No, now just bring it to the office and go. So how often do you travel abroad? I said, no, just once in a. I said, you are a bad person. He said, what do you mean? I said, so you are building somewhere and you never told me before. He said, what do I mean? I said, if you are not building anywhere, how come you tell me you want to buy a bag of 150,000? At that time in 2015, they sell a unit of block for 150 naira. So 150,000 naira will give you how many pieces of block? No, 1,000. 1,000 pieces of blocks. Okay, now, let me tell you, I have this full information, practical information, that you need 5,000 pieces of blocks to build a 3-bedroom bungalow. Give you 5,000 pieces of blocks. So now, what do you need more? Is sand, cement, granite, and iron. So, you know what happened? I told him, I said, do you know that you just need 5,000 pieces of blocks to do a 3-bedroom bungalow? He said, okay. I said, so anytime you carry a bag of 150,000, you are carrying 1/5 of a bungalow. So now, 1/5 is, we said 5,000 pieces. So 1/5, 1,000. So when you carry a bag of 150k, you are carrying 1/5. So if you carry a bag of 750,000 at that time, you are carrying a bungalow. And that's how many people are living their lives around. They wear shoes of 1 million naira. Some people do shoes of 1.5, shoe and bag. Some people do cost gold of maybe 2.5 million, especially if they are a regular visitor in Dubai. They are expensive gold in Dubai. So they buy, at least gold will not get devalued. You can still resell later. But that is if they sell. That's not about Gato Bagbucho. Because some people wear gold of 1.5 to 1.7 million. Once you go down for. Yes. Sincerely, people still enter down for with a gold chain of 1.7 million. Yes, sir.
Let me come in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What he does in his country said.
Yes, sir.
But I told he said, this is my business.
Yes, sir.
I tried to convince him. He said, this is what I sell.
Yes, sir.
So I need to promote myself.
Okay, sir.
So from that area, I said, okay.
It's good, sir, but I hope he's not taking public transport.
He does. I said he does.
He does public transport. Okay.
So he said,
what's the route like? No, wọ́n lọ sádùúgbò, wọ́n lọ sí ibi tó dà. Kó gbóṣòdì. No, see, sir, the truth is this. The moment you get to that point where you see, let me not go into some things, but if you are walking and it's dark while you are out and your BP rises, check what you are wearing. Because when you are outside and you see that you didn't plan to stay late outside, but you find yourself still outside when it's dark, and you just see that your BP rises, like you are scared. Check what you are wearing. That means your inner spirit is telling you that you are not safe. You just look at your phone suddenly and you just see that, oh, my iPhone 12, my mumudani, oh, the Nimoto. iPhone 10, my lady, or iPhone 9, or iPhone 8. And you are still taking public transport. You don't get it. Something is wrong. Yes. So when somebody is carrying a bag, so block now is 230, 240 for 9 inches. And the 6 inches is about 210, 200, depending on the area. So meaning that some people are still carrying a bungalow. But if you don't know it, even you that wants to sell to them, you won't be able to know how to get them to talk to people who are still making that mistake. One of my friends, by the grace of God, who called herself a glamour girl many years ago, now she's got 2 houses facing each other inside Gwarimpa in Abuja. When I met her, she would tell me that she spends her money on perfumes. Perfumes, perfume, you enter a place, you just be smelling. You can't get the name of the perfumes. There are different perfumes. And that's what they call life. That's what some people call fulfillment. Some people are living in other people's houses and they don't miss vacation. They have
and they are not able to pay rent.
I'm supposed to write something on one of my neighbor, a one-time neighbor. When they brought the house for me to buy by privilege, and they told me that this house was up for sale, and I said, why are these couple selling their house? Because I know them and I've been to their house before. Very cute. You enter, lovely place. I said, why are they selling their house? What happened to them? They said it's not their house, they are tenant there. That they spend that much inside. The agent now told me that, Pastor, because you don't know, they have 9 cars in the rental. 9, yes, sir. Some of those cars are brand new. I know them. Yes, sir. 9 brand new. Some of them that I know were brand new. 9 cars. The one will shock you. Be say it's directly opposite my father's case. My father had 9 buildings before he passed on, but he didn't have 1 car. Inside Lagos. He had 9 buildings. He didn't have. Yes. It's not that I couldn't afford it. Sincerely. He did at that time, maybe just needed to sell 1 house and buy 2 or 3 cars. But he chose the one that will be a legacy. When I got to know that those couple didn't own the house and that they had 9 cars. See, no, sir, sincerely, there are some people, even some who are doing real estate. There's someone I know that does real estate that I was literally begging him to buy property. He does real estate, he sells property to people. He does not have a place of his own. Yeah, yes, ma'am, true, there are people like that. So, I always tell you that we are agents of change that God is raising to be able to clear or open the veil covering people's faces. Because sincerely, you are going to go and take somebody out from the mouth of the lion. That's why I always say that selling for you is very spiritual. To tell somebody to come and buy what you are selling. Somebody that you don't know where they put the padlock, the key that they used to lock him. Oh, Bobito Saucy. So it's not enough to just say come and buy and they come and buy. He wants to buy. He has told you I will buy. He said come back in a few days time. I want to be there just see. That's the end. And just sees you say I don't want to have any conversation with you or buy you from calling. This is beyond you. So what you are selling is deep. So you need prayer to settle matters in the secret place. So you can, the wilderness experience, you can come and use it to enjoy in the city. Sincerely, it's spiritual to sell property. You want to liberate people, no. You don't get it. That's your duty. You want to liberate people. Somebody who feels so very okay to stay in an hotel and just stay in a hotel or a 5-star hotel and is there for 1 year. Yes, 1 year. Yes. Yes. See, let me tell you another one. Our time is gone. You will say you'll be enjoying. So next week, so they won't tell me not to come and be. I will be running up now. See my coordinator sitting looking at me that you shall pa mic here. You know, do you know that the last time I was in Dubai in January, they were telling me the hotel we were in, that Marriott, was 2 minutes away from this guy's house, Hush Puppy. Now, it will amaze you to know that Hush Puppy, till he was extradited to US, was living in an hotel called Versace Hotel in Dubai. Everything in that house is Versace. The gates, the railings, when I say everything, look at my lips. Everything was Versace. Cup. Everything, cup. Go and see the interview that he granted at the Fresh. Or that the Fresh, rather. That he took around the house. Everything, towel, Versace.
He's not the owner.
A new hotel, you know, tell me that he paid permanently. I used to think it was when I got to Dubai, I knew that it was one of my pastors that came to visit me in the hotel that told me, Baba, waste time, boy.
Everything,
Everything, Versace. The tires they use is Versace.
He was working for Versace.
Custom, everything. Sir, the toothbrush, Versace.
Yes. I thought
Sir, everything Versace.
I thought it is building.
I thought too, but I'm talking information. No, so the question will now be: is it bad to live in a good house? No. But sincerely, but some people have disabused my mind. They said I always talk about owning. That is, must you own? I've gotten feedbacks. You know, when you go live all the time, you get different things. Must you own? So even when you say you know that it's not the one talking. And when me, you don't get it. There are some, you know that it's not the one talking to you. Once a PTA meeting, because you don't get it. Now, the rent of the hotel of 1 day
I'm sure that's what caught their attention.
And do you know that we concluded at something? We said that, do you know that there are people who have made more money than he ever made in this thing he was doing, but who were not loud like that, and they are still making the money, that they don't even know them. You know, it's like reporting yourself.
Yes, come and catch me.
Come and catch me. Yes. Okay, let's move. Let's be rounding up. Number 8. Making trap presentations. So for sophisticated buyers, don't like entrapments. So making trap presentations. What does it mean? These are the kind of hard sell tactics that use the, if I could show you X, will you buy now? So if I take you to the site, will you buy? Will you buy now? It's an entrapment mentality. You want to trap people. Okay, if I show you the CFO, will you buy? If I show you the survey, the register survey, will you buy? No, please. You have to. There's a need for us to balance things. It's important for you to show them, but they don't owe you anything to buy from you. Even though, see, let me tell you, I always try to balance things. One, as a child of God, and two, as a salesperson. Sir, ma, when I catch you to prospect you, I turn you into a project. But by the grace of God, I know when to stop talking, and I know when to move. So there is a time to show them something, but don't tie what you are showing them to a must buy. So you want to go for inspection. So when you go for this inspection, you must buy. So if he says, don't worry, I'm not interested in going for inspection. Was a little boy. Come on, your poor man on the side here. Think about check. Oh, that's it. You'll be a pretty red. Go there, you can one more too. Oh, that you know. I'm not going again. What I'm saying sounds like a joke, but it happens. Sincerely. And you might not be that you are forcing them to go for inspection. It might be something else you are saying that you say I should come and meet you. I should come and meet you. At least you buy form, even if you don't buy the land. You are the one saying to them yourself. You say, okay, shake our form, just be coming. And you get there yourself. I remember one of my old colleagues many years ago that they were saying that, oh yeah, give your record, your presentation, what you achieved last week. He said, said it in Yoruba. He said, sir, he said, ilẹ̀ títà ò tiẹ̀ jẹ mi lọ́wọ́, mo ní fọ́ọ̀mù ta dáadáa.
He's getting something. He's getting value.
Agent.
Selling point.
There are different people. They sent him out of that meeting. He was sent out of the meeting. All your colleagues are saying 20 plots. I saw 20 plots last week. I saw 50 plots last week. I saw Kiniko last week. The way he even started was very annoying but very funny. He said last week he was opening his paper. Last week they were saying he's calculating the number of plots. Last week I did. What do you mean? I said I did. The MD now said that. So what are you looking for inside the paper that you are opening all the while? Say, kò tiẹ̀ yé mi gan. Ilé yóò jẹ mi lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n ra fọ́ọ̀mù dáadáa lọ́wọ́. At least he's selling something. 1,000 naira for the form. So at least he set a target of at least maybe you set 10 per day. That's 10K, and you are not remitting the money to the company. So you just see that there's no form again in the office. To call the form. It's not me. I'm sure that some people come and meet you after this class. Power of February 100 forms. Emma for one form. Flyer with them for. Give them flyer, don't give them form. Alright, number 9. Blaming the company for mistakes. When the salesperson blames the company, the customer's trust plummets. Okay? So when a disgruntled customer calls, it's tempting to use the company as a scapegoat. So the sales rep has the personal relationship with the customer, so it's easier to deflect blame to the employer and try to win sympathy. So please stop blaming company for mistakes. Okay, like what I mean to say is this: like the company, your prospect is saying that, you people, you just stopped your fence at draft level. I expect that by now your perimeter fence should have risen beyond this. Say, what is that for? All our management people, they don't that's why they left it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I still talking to them. That way, you have depleted trust. They wouldn't trust you. They won't trust the company. And that way, they can't part with their money. So, you should be in the best position, since you are the face of the organization there, to tell them that, sir, we're sincerely working on this, genuinely. Or can I get back to you on why the fence got stopped, or why we stopped at that point? You can feed the person back. Asking genuine questions from the management of the company. Now, what's going on? So people are asking questions. Where are we? Where we are? And they tell you, oh, maybe for this reason, or maybe we stopped now. We're resuming another 1 week. Instead of joining, some people, you are prospecting. You are saying, come and buy this apple, come and buy this apple. And somebody is saying, you know what, I like your passion. Sincerely, I've been watching the way you have been the day you have been talking to me. And what I'm just thinking now is that, can you work for me? Can you work for me? How much are they paying you then? Say, I'm kuku a partner. They're not paying me anything there. Say, will you work for me? Say, sir, I don't mind though. In fact, you are answered to my prayer. So the person knows that you are not doing well. Sincerely. They won't employ you. And they won't buy from you. You are a misrepresentation of that organization. Now, that's one. Then 2 is the fact that if what you are selling, you believe in it, you won't jump away that way. You must be able to say that, sir, I'm fulfilled what I'm doing. Now, when I was working for Property Mart, before God settled me, I can tell you that I didn't know when people started calling me, they thought I was a shareholder in the company at that time. Because I already swallowed and carried a sense of ownership that this company is mine. Whatever happened is going to affect me. So you can't. I was in 2010. By His grace, I was in Orlando, Florida, to represent the company, and I was to go with the DG of lands in one of the states and my MD, and I was there, and I was offered a position in another organization by the chairman of another real estate company that came to the World National Home Builders Show. That year, it was held in Orlando, Florida, and when the man offered me the opportunity, he said, come and work for me. I smiled. If you see the way I look, if you see my picture that time, Baba, I don't go to talk, make you sit down. You won't believe in me, sincerely. That's why I believe that women, they have grace to see into the future. Because I always ask myself, what did my wife see for me, for my body, where she make and say yes? Because you couldn't told you you don't get it. And people that they look like COVID patients, the way they look. So, now, when the man offered me the opportunity, you know what I told him? I said, sir, my boss is not here with me, yet he reposed so much trust in me to represent him. I said, sir, how many people did you come here with from your company? So, what that means is this. I said, sir, if I work for you, You will lock me down in Nigeria. He's the chairman, not the MD. The chairman of his company. All his staff, nobody is good enough to come with him. He said, and he had, at that time was something, he had 5 built estates. All built. But meanwhile, the company that sent me, we're still doing site and service. We've not started building any company at that, any estate at that time. We're just selling land, plot of land. And yet, the boss could still think of me representing him abroad. And now, you are now offering me some. So, when the convener of the event, the host, now saw, I said, Nee, what is my chairman discussing with you? And I told her, I said, leave this one, no, he won't go with you. She already knew what I stood for. So you can't entice me with money. So that way, if the man knows my MD, you call the guy and tell him that, watch out for that guy, money. And I didn't do it for anything to be said. Just it's me that somebody will deem it fit and sit in Nigeria and say, we are well represented in the US. Need you go and represent us. And I get there and I don't return back again. And I'll go with another company. You don't know the number of people that they have spoiled chances for in that organization. They will never send anybody abroad again. So some people talk to you while you're on the field, trying to offer you something that you didn't go there for. Please know when to say no. It is not all doors are God's door. Some are traps in disguise. Number 10. Failing to recommend a competitor. It's a mistake. A lot of times we meet people on the field and they are saying that, do you know so company, can I buy from them? If you know them, say you know them. That you even say you don't know them, it means that you are not on top of your game. But if I don't know them, I'll tell you, can I get back to you on this? I go and research about them, see what they're doing, and I'll tell you back that, oh, I've seen them. The only challenge I'll have is there's a need for you to send someone to go and see their office and see whether they are fully on ground and cite their title, if they have any, for this property you are talking to me about. It is not for me to run them down as they're asking, do you know this company? Say, how are you? Oh, no, no. I want to go after Jenny property in Africa. Say, before you started your own, have you not been selling before? No. Don't run anybody down. If I never had the mentality of the cloud is so wide for every bird to fly without touching each other, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing here. Fact. I won't be doing. It has never blocked any of my sales. If I told the MD of Gtext one day, I said, sincerely, my sales shot up from the time I started doing one or two things for you. Because, okay, people see me online, they say, you're about good one. You don't get it. They say that there must be something about him. So, but all this one, they mention this company, say, I want you, they mention this one, they say, I want you, yeah. So, all that, and you come by. Say, I want the call, no, fish, you know. Na lie you thought. The only thing somebody still chat on this point. Somebody still chatted me some weeks back and said that from England and said that she wants to subscribe into this property. That she said she should run it through me and get my professional advice. So I now said that I've seen the flyer you sent to me. They seem reputable. But I may not be able to speak for them since I'm not inside there. Maybe if we can do more due diligence and do more search to be able to know about the company, I could be able to say more about the company. You know, there are many real estate companies today. So she just needed me to commit myself to say that she should go ahead. Please don't do commitments if you don't know the company. Even companies that you know, sometimes things could go bad that you may not even know that there are issues. But don't run down any company. I know some companies that are going through some difficult times. I know some companies that they have issues in delivering, giving people what they bought. That does not mean I should run them down. I still tell you, there's a need for you to send a delegate to check their office and check where you want to put your money inside. Don't use me as a guarantor for a place where I am not inside. I always try to avoid that. But I would never run any company down. It's important. So please ensure that you don't fail to recommend competitors. See, this life is about varieties. It's a spice of life. I don't have all the properties. My company don't have all the properties prospects are asking me. I've learned to synergize with other companies I trust also. So if I don't have something they're asking me, I should be able to look at one or two other companies that have it and refer them there. I cannot get my own cut from it. It has not changed my surname. It won't do me bad. So instead of them to carry the money to go and buy it, even from where I won't benefit, why not recommend a place where it will be under me? You don't get it. So please don't fail to recommend competitors. Don't see anybody as your enemy. Nobody is doing you. Just be open. Be open-minded. Any question? As we go, it's 5:09. Yes, sir. 2 minutes.
Or 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. So, any question? Question? Ask me after. Question after class. Yes, sir.
At the foot of quality.
Yes, sir.
Are you saying we should not put selling first? Or can I understand that?
Okay.
Do we know before we continue putting the selling ahead, there must be what we call need analysis. Now, after that need analysis, and you have done everything, you have ascertained the needs of the prospect. At that point in time, do we need to put it forth to the prospect? This is what we want, what we are doing, or we should just continue building the relationship until this stage we can then introduce.
Okay. I like that question. When you meet someone physically, it is different from when you cold call. Because when you cold call, it means that you are actually, in most of the developing world, it's easier to cold call. People can just circulate your number around. Maybe you call an institution, maybe a university. You want to make an inquiry. And they will ask you, can they populate your number among other schools who have the course you are looking for? And those schools start calling you. They start cold calling you that, are you Mr. Adeyemi Adeniyi, right? In business administration in America? Yes. That's why we got your number from Stanford University. So just one school you will call. They will populate your number to 100 schools. So they can call you. It's easier to cold call. Why? Because when people pick calls over there, they are not aggressive because things are working. When you cold call in Nigeria, sir, it's not the same story. Where do you get my number?
Who gave you my number?
Talo Ibolotiri number. In fact, before you know it, they've started cursing the person because of experiences that are terrible. And sir, things are not harsh in Jesus' name. How are you harsh, girl? When you cold call. So for me, Even some of the cards I have that I've not been in touch with some of those people for some time, it's tough for me to just pick my phone and call them. Despite the fact that I met some of them one-on-one. I still have to do SMS and refer them to how we met. Then when they respond, that's when I can call them. So for me, I don't recommend cold calling.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
The cold calling I'm talking about is not meeting somebody for the first time.
Okay?
We are on the marketing process, meeting him or her.